Yes, hello, welcome to class. Quiet in the back. I am your new teacher, Mr. Holly. Along the next few weeks, I will be giving you hints and tips and tricks and helpful advice as to how to draw cartoons. Shall we begin? Now, of course, first of all, materials. Now, all you technically need to start drawing is something to draw with and something to draw on. However, drawing on your friend's face after he's passed out with permanent ink when he's got a job interview in the morning is probably not the best idea. So let's stick with pencil and pen and paper and things like that, okay? Now, first of all, pencils have different hardness and whatever B stands for. Anyway, you'll see it often on the side of the pencil. It'll say 2B, 2H, HB, HB2 in this case. Basically, what that means is the amount of hardness or softness that it has. Essentially, the softer the pencil, the darker it draws, and the harder the pencil, the lighter it draws. Generally, an HB pencil, that is generally right in the middle, will work absolutely fine. If in doubt, HB, son! Okay, now were I to tell you to start drawing, what would you do? Start drawing? Ha! You imbeciles. No, first of all, what you need are guidelines. Guidelines, you probably know what they are. You draw them lightly in pencil. Lightly is the key word here, so you can rub them out, so that you know where to draw in pen, so that you don't mess up and have to redraw the whole thing because you drew it in permanent ink when you could have just used erasable pencils. So you're silly if you don't. I mean, sure, there are some people who can draw without guidelines, and many more people who claim they can draw without guidelines. But trust me, most if not all of the time, you will want to use guidelines. Guidelines are your new best friend. Harriet? Forget Harriet. You don't need Harriet. All you need are guidelines, okay? And you'll be together forever. When I'm drawing guidelines on here, I will use pencil, and when I'm drawing outlines, the actual lines that will stay in the thing, I will use pen. Just a little heads up for you all. Now, if you're drawing a complicated piece, you'll probably want to have something before even the guidelines. This is called a gesture, or gesture if you pronounce it weird, or jester if you're thinking of the fool in medieval times. With a gesture, you're not even showing where you want the lines to go in your drawing, you're just showing where the things are. Of course, this is very useful in more complicated drawings where you need to know where things are before you start putting down where you're going to put the lines. Now, while there are many different techniques for drawing guidelines and gestures, arguably one of the most important, at least when you're drawing characters, is called the action line. Now, this line is essentially a kind of elongated spine that goes from the top of the character's head to somewhere between their feet. And the point of this is to vaguely show the pose the character is standing in. After this, you normally add in vague representations of the bone structures in the character's body, such as the rib cage and the skull, and then the squishier anatomical guidelines. Then you draw the outlines, often in pen, and then colour it in if you want, and then you are done. Unless you want to add, I don't know, whiteout for highlights, or you want to put it into Photoshop and Photoshop it. And now an assignment from me to you. What I want you to do is to draw something. Now, it doesn't have to be anything specific. You can take it from your own mind. But don't worry, if you can't think of anything, your mind is completely devoid of all of your muses, just pause this video whenever you want. Well, not whenever you want, when there are these words here appearing on the screen, pause it, and then take the 3 words that I put upon the screen and create something beautiful. Now, those of you who actually do this assignment, don't worry, you don't get graded on it. There are no grades. Those of you who do this assignment, please send them to my Tumblr. There is a link. My face is a link, and there is also the doobly-doo down there has my Tumblr, my art blog in it. Thank you for attending. I have been your teacher, Cherry Holly, and au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, and see you next week.